Hi, good afternoon and good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining. My name is Fairoz. I'm the president for FITIS, the Federation of IT Industry, Sri Lanka. I'm heading the software chapter. Um, Let me welcome you all for this 21st Young Computer Scientist for the YCS program, the awareness session. So let me give you an introduction about FITIS. The FITIS is the Federation of IT Industry, Sri Lanka. It started in 1996. Um, the FITIS is an apex body for IT industry, which covers the industry vertical, as you can see, the hardware chapter, software chapter, education, communication, digital services, office automation, professional chapter, and then the professional consultants chapter. So there are many benefits that being part of it is that our core mandate is to drive the digital transformation and then the creation of intellectual properties, and then we also create networking opportunities and value proposition for the our members as well as the stakeholders, and we can enhance your knowledge and can position your brands and all that. So to drive this competition or the Young Computer Science program that we have partnered with Ministry of Education, where that helps us reach the island-wide young talents to promote this YCS competition. Through that, we identify the talent, and this is one of the national level competition recognized by the Ministry of Education. So you get the benefit of whatever the national level competition, which is the country. During this competition, there are Ministry of Education. They will announce the winners, and the awards ceremony will be conducted by jointly by the FITIS as well as the Ministry of Education. And the role of University of Computer, Columbus School of Computing, UCSC, they do the judging where they have allocated senior and assistant lecturers, and also they use undergraduates as well as the academic staff and industry experts to drive this competition. And then also the UCSC provide us support in terms of awareness and mentoring support as well as some of the technical support for the students. If I brief you about YCS competition, the YCS competition we are conducting for 21st year with this year. So we have missed only 1 year, which is during COVID 2020. Otherwise, we could have been conducted 2022 become 22, so it started in 2000. So this is a platform for young talents to become a computer scientist of tomorrow. So this competition here this year, 2022, is most likely to be conducted as a hybrid event. Right. So the aim of this YCS competition is to expose the computing talents of the school children at the early stage. So we encourage them to develop their talents and earn the recognition for their innovation, which is coming out at the early age itself. And here we try to create the awareness among the youth in the parts of ICT. This is really crucial because we have to, there's a lot of potential in IT field. So we try to take the students' product to expose to the business, and also we give them opportunities to present that in the seminars and the trade missions across all member economy within the FITIS as well as the entire IT industry. And one of the other target is to reach the 20,000 IT graduates by early 2025, because right now we are producing less than 12,000 IT graduates, but our target is the Sri Lanka need 20,000 IT graduates coming out every year. So for us to reach that goal, we have to do a lot of awareness, because as you know that IT, when someone is getting graduated from any of the IT field, the job guarantee is almost like job market is already there for them. So it's a investment that the childrens and the parents that could make to build their path and career path in the IT field, so that they should be able to have a better path and easy, their, their career. Some of the benefits, of course, it's an opportunity to obtain technical and knowledge support from and as well as the sponsors or the investment for the innovation or the product identify the young talents. Where we will guide them through that so that their talents can be identified, that can be, or supports can be provided, and even this has been the story for the last year winners as well. So some of the students have already been aligned with some of the industry people to further develop their products and how they can improve their products and services. And this is a platform for business matchmaking, as well as you'll have an opportunity for like connect with the other industry people as well as the similar people to get to know about your products as well as your innovations. And as I mentioned, this is a national level competition where the winners will get the national level recognition from Ministry of Education, as well as it's an international level competition where winners will be sent to APICTA. So Ministry of Education will provide national level certification, APICTA will provide the international level certification. Put all together, you will have the international as well as national, the opportunity to reach to that level. And there are situations where the scholarships are being provided and placements also offered at the well-renowned universities. And we have the exposure to international innovation and technology trade shows be participating, because the APICTA is an international event where you should be able to take part. The winners should be able to take part and show their products and get connected with the international players. And then we'll also get this recognition through the various networking engagement and so on. Finally, I would like to show the APICTA winners and awards, where last year we got 39 awards, out of which the 26 merit award, and there are 50 invest awards, and out of which 6 have gone to APICTA, and they 3 of them won the award as well. So that is something that that we deliver to the table. But last year the numbers were low. It's much bigger this time. We want to get more and more participation so we can also make them convert. So let me just talk about a little bit about APICTA. APICTA is an alliance of international organizations representing their respective economies to build and enhance a mutual cooperative network to promote ICT. And that's about APICTA. APICTA is consists of 17 countries, including Australia, Bangladesh, Brunei, China, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Indonesia, Japan, and Malaysia, Myanmar, you can see the whole set of 17 countries. And the chances for students to win, if they participate, students to win, the winning chances are high, because our young talents has an extremely good talents in terms of how they present it, how they come up with the new ideas, and the winning rates are usually always been high. But you got to come up with the winnable product, as well as you got to have that the rate, and we will guide you and assist you. Once you reach that level, we should be able to guide you to take it to the next level and so on. This awareness program, which is organized by FITI's Ministry of Education as well as UCSC, and also we used to bring in the past YCS and APICTA champions, as well as the software industry experts also will take part to give you some sort of insight and assistance on those lines. Which is targeted for IT lecturers and the students, as well as lecturers, and then IT related authorities related to the education and all that representing the school and the connected networks. There are follow-up sessions will be arranged, and as well as we also will do a detailed session for the especially the students who got selected for APICTA as well as who have been selected for the final round, because when you look at the overall number, they had to be ready with the product, and it's a marketable product or the solid innovation where we should be able to recognize them. So when they are with certain level of engagement, then it will be easy for us to guide them and assist them. So when students are ready with the such level of quality products, and then we should be able to enter them and take them to the next level. So that's the role that we do. Just to highlight the winners, and congratulations to those three winners who participated last year APICTA competition, and these three won the merit awards. We hope that next time we should be able to produce more and more winners from this group. I wish you all the best and congratulations to you all. Let me bring in another speaker, which is Arosha Medivakar, because there is, as you know, there are power failure issues and all that. Due to that reason, now that we are shifting the speakers on a basis, let me introduce Arosha Medivakar for this as the next speaker. She's a ICT champion, or the winner of ICT champion in the teachers category in 2015 and 2021. She's coming under the creative teacher category. So she's currently serves as a teacher at Sri Jawahardhurpura Mahavidyalaya. She's also an instructor in ICT and the distance learning hub. Additionally, she also conducts the education TV program in ITN and Rupawahini, and she used to. She's very popular in terms of guiding and assisting in terms of the ICT related education. So may I invite Arosha Medivakar to discuss about how the students should prepare it and what sort of mentoring that she will be doing. Over to you, Arosha.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Farooq. Everyone, good evening. By now you know about the competition, and this competition is exclusively targeted at students who have a knowledge of ICT as well as who are good in imagination and innovation. So you can create a new creation, innovation, and prove yourself to the world. Okay, I'll start with the golden quotation. As you can see, our great writer Kumaratunga Munidasa's golden quotation. I will start with that. Alut alut da notanana jatiya lowa nonagi. The nation which does not create new things will not rise. My dear students, this is a wonderful platform for you to display your innovations, creations, imaginations to the world. You can think of a project where you can help to the society and the man-made and to make things easy. I will go to another quotation. Need is a mother of all innovation. පුතාලා දන්නවා අවශ්‍යතාව නිසා නව නිර්මාණ බිහි වෙන්න පුළුවන්. අපි කතා කරමු success story එකකුත් අපි කතා කරමු. මම මෙතෙන්දි කතා කරන්න ලෑස්ති වෙන්නේ ඇයි පුතාලා participate කරන්නේ? Why you participate this competition? ඇයි ඔයගොල්ලෝ මේකට සම්බන්ධ වෙන්නේ? You have theory knowledge right now. Am I right? Yes, you have. Now this is time for you to add your theory knowledge with practical knowledge. Is it? Yes. Right. Now this is a good opportunity because you have huge knowledge of theory, but now this is a very good opportunity for you to apply that theory knowledge with practical. You might know a lot of softwares, tools, languages. Interlinking, interconnecting is very important. You will be able to make a product out of that. Sometimes it will not match properly, but creativity comes in. Now you can add your creativity. Doing this kind of project, we have to think of. I will go to the next slide. What you can achieve actually, your knowledge. If you not apply your knowledge, it is just like paint. Once you apply only, you can see how it's good. හිතන්න මෙහෙම චිත්‍රයක් ගන්න. චිත්‍රය පාට කරේ නැත්තම් පුතේ අපිට ඒකේ ලස්සන පේන්නේ නැහැ නේද? ඒ වගේ තමයි. ඔයාගේ knowledge එක, ඔබගේ දැනුම ඔබ යොදා ගන්න. ඔබ නියම ආකාරයට ඔබගේ දැනුම යොදා ගත්තොත් අන්න එතෙන්දී අපිට පුළුවන් ඒ වටිනාකමක් දෙන්න. නැත්තම් ඔබගේ පොතේ පතේ අපි ඕනේ තරම් අපි උගන්වන්නේ ඔබට න්‍යායාත්මක දැනුම, theory. ඒවා ප්‍රායෝගිකව යොදා ගන්න මෙන්න මේ අවස්ථාව ප්‍රයෝජනෙට ගන්න කියලා මම කියනවා. Right. Now, very important thing is, අපි මෙහෙම හිතමුකෝ. ඔයාට තියෙනවා programming knowledge එකක්. ඔයාට තියෙනවා graphic animation ගැන knowledge එකක්. මේ ඔක්කොම එකට එකතු කිරීම, ඒ එකතු කරලා ඔයාට එතනින් හොඳ නිර්මාණයක් කරන්න පුළුවන් නම් අන්න ඒක තමයි වටින්නේ. අපි තව ටිකක් බලමු මොකක්ද මේ කතාව. Teamwork and interpersonal relationship. So you can do with your own. සමහර අය තනියම කරන අය ඉන්නවා. But working with a team is really interesting. Like this. මේ වෙලාවෙත් බලන්න අපි ඔක්කොම ටීම් එකක් විදිහට වැඩ කරනකොට අපිට ජාතියක් විදිහටත් නැගිටින්න. මම දැකලා තියෙනවා boys schools වල ගොඩාක් දරුවෝ පිරිමි ළමයිගේ ස්කෝල් වල ගොඩාක් team events, team projects දෙන්නේ. girls schools වලත් ඒක එන්න ඕනේ. ඉතින් මම නම් ආසයි එකතු වෙලා වැඩ කරන්න. You know why? So we can understand your strengths and others' weaknesses, and you can compromise. වාට එකතු කරලා වාට හොඳ ප්‍රොඩක්ට් එකක් දෙන්න පුළුවන්. අපි රැකියාවකට ගියත් අවසානයේ අපිට ඒ කට්ටියත් එක්ක එකතු වෙලා වැඩ කරන්න තියෙනවා. ඉතින් ටීම් ප්‍රොජෙක්ට් එකක් කරනකොට ඒකේ ලොකු වටිනකමක් තියෙනවා. ඉතින් ඉන්ඩිවිජුවල් ඒවා වාට තේරෙනවා නම් වාට කරන්න ඕනේ කියලා කමක් නැහැ. නමුත් ටීම් ප්‍රොජෙක්ට්ස් ගැන ලොකු වටිනකමක් තියෙනවා. අර මම කලින් කිව්වා වගේ one member might good in programming, other can good in something else. So you can identify others' weaknesses, strength, and you can compromise. Right? Then you can come up with a very good product. හොඳ output එකකට ගන්න පුළුවන්. Right? ඉතින් ඒක ගැන පොඩ්ඩක් හිතන්න. ඒ වගේම තව පුංචි දෙයක් කියන්න ඕනේ. දුල පුතාලා දැන් මේ ඉවෙන්ට් එක අපි අවුරුදු ගණනාවක් කරනවා. ඒ වුණාට සමහර දරුවෝ දැනුත් මං ළඟදී කතා කළා කොහොම මෙහෙම ඉවෙන්ට් එකක් තියෙනවා කියලා. ඒ දරුවෝ අහනවා එහෙම තියෙනවද කියලා අහනවා. ඉතින් මට හරි පුදුමයි. දන්න අය මේක දැනුවත් කරන්න කියලා මං ඉල්ලනවා. මොකද අපි හංගගෙන ඉඳලා අපිට ජාතියක් විදිහට නැගී සිටින්න බෑ. අපි කියන්න ඕනේ අපි යාළුවන්ට කියන මෙහෙම සමහරට මේවා ගැන දන්නේ නැති නිර්මාණශීලී දරුවෝ ඉන්න පුළුවන් රටේ හැමතැනම. ඉතින් අපි ඒ අයට අවස්ථාව දෙන්න ඕනේ. ඉතින් දන්න අය පුළුවන් තරම් කියන්න. ඉතින් මේ සහයෝගයෙන් තමයි අපි ඉස්සරහට යන්නේ. You can identify problem and you can find solutions, and you can follow a methodology where you can plan, you can design, you can test, and you can implement. Right. First thing is you have to identify problem. Okay, for that you have to be sensitive to the society. වා සමාජයට සංවේදී වෙන්න ඕනේ. මම ලස්සන කතාවක් කියන්න. ඒ කතාව තමයි ඔයාලා වගේම මම කතා කරන්නේ දරුවන්ට මුලින්ම ඔයාලා වගේම පුංචි දරුවෙක් ගැන කතා කරන්නේ. He is so sensitive to the family. මුලින්ම පවුලට සංවේදී වෙන්න ඕනේනේ. ඔයාලා දන්නවා ඔයගොල්ලෝ ඉස්කෝලේ ගිහින් එනකොට අම්මලා වෑන් වල එන දරුවෝ බලාගෙන ඉන්නවා අම්මා වෑන් එකේ එනකන් නේද පුතේ. එතකොට එහෙම බලාගෙන ඉන්නකොට සමහරට විනාඩි 30ක් 40ක් යන්න පුළුවන්. සමහර වෑන්ස් එන්නේ නැහැ නේ ගේට්ටුව ගාවට. සමහරට ගොඩක් දුරට යන්න වෙනවා. අන්න ඒ වෙලාවට අම්මට ගොඩක් වෙලා ඉන්න හිතුණු නිසා මේ පුංචි පුතා නිර්මාණයක් කරා වෑන් එකේ රියදුරුට රිවිදුරුගේ ජංගම දුරකථනය හරහා වෑන් එක ළඟ එනකොට පණිවිඩයක් දෙනවා. At that time mother can move out from the house. Right? So she can avoid waiting. Right? එයාට බලන් ඉන්න ඕනේ අම්මට. ඒ කියන්නේ he is sensitive to his environment. එයාගේ පරිසරයට, එයාගේ අම්මා ගැන, එයාගේ වෙන කෙනෙකුට ඒක එයා ඉස්කෝලේ ගිහින් ආවා. එයාට දැනෙන්නේ නැහැ අම්මා ඉන්න වෙලාවවත්. ඉතින් පුතේ ඔයාලා සංවේදී වුණොත් පරිසරයට ඔයාට ප්‍රශ්නයක් අඳුර ගන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ ගැටලුව අඳුරගත්තට පස්සේ ඔයාට පුළුවන් ඒකට ICT based solution එකක් දෙන්න. ඉතින් මං හිතන්නේ පුතාලා තව ගොඩක් හිතුවොත් මේ වසරේ ඔබට පුළුවන් වෙයි හොඳ නිර්මාණයක් ඉදිරිපත් කරන්න. ගැටලුව හඳුනා ගන්න. මං කිව්වා වගේ පරිසරයට සංවේදී වෙන්න ඕනේ. සංවේදී වෙලා තොරතුරු සංවේදන තාක්ෂණය හරහා ICT හරහා solution එකක් දෙන්න පුළුවන්. Right. For teachers, මම දැන් කතා කරන්නේ teachers ට. I'm also a teacher, right? අපේ දරුවෝ ලස්සන ideas අරගෙන එනවා. Students always come up with their ideas. Sometimes we might think it is not practical. අපිට නිකන් පුදුම හිතෙන්න පුළුවන්. මේක කරන්න පුළුවන්ද? But we as teachers, we always respect our students' concepts and ideas. අපි ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ ideas sharp කරලා ඒගොල්ලන්ට guide කරමු කොහෙටද යන්න පුළුවන් කියලා උදව් කරමු. We are not helping them, like we are not doing the project, but we can show the path, we can show the correct path to do the project perfectly. And the other thing is students always sometimes they can complain. Output is not coming as they expect. Sometimes project might not work properly. Auto deleting එකත් වෙන්න පුළුවන් නේ. හැමතිස්සෙම අපේ projects අර group projects කරනකොට යාළුවෝ ඉන්නවා කියනවා සමහරට you can save the file අඩු ගානේ save කරන්න හරි එහෙම උදව් වෙන්න. ඒක තමයි group projects වටිනවා කියලා කිව්වේ. ඒ වගේම teacher කෙනෙක් විදිහට we can motivate them. We can motivate them. And conducting this kind of a project is actually not a straight line. It is very difficult. We can say it is meandering process. Like a lazy පාර අපි හිතන killing පාර යන්නේ නැහැ. It is quite arduous task. So students will opt to give up or abandon middle of the way. සමහරට කියාගෙන එන්න පුළුවන්. මට නම් participate කරන්න බෑ teacher මේක කරන්න අමාරුයි කියලා කියන්න පුළුවන්. So at that time, as teachers, we have to encourage them, motivate them to complete the project. In many occasions, auto deleting අර මං කලින් කිව්වා වගේ නැත්නම් output is not synchronized with input sometimes. ඉතින් අන්නේ වෙලාවට අපිට පුළුවන් guide කරලා ඒගොල්ලන්ට උදව් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඉතින් මම හැමතිස්සෙම කියනවා වගේ participate කළා ගිය අවුරුදු වල දිනපු දරුවෝ ඉන්නව නේද? ඒගොල්ලන්ට ආයි participate කරන්න. කොයි වෙලාවකත් අත්හරින්න එපා. හේතුව තමයි මම පළවෙනි අපි හිතමුකෝ ගිය අවුරුද්දේ competition එකේ පළවෙනි හැවෙච්ච දරුවා ආයි මේ පාරේ හිතනවා නම් බය වෙනවා නම් මම ආයි ඉදිරිපත් වුණොත් මම දෙවෙනියා වුණොත් ඒක මගේ අර මම පළවෙනියා වෙච්ච එකට මේ ටිකක් මදිකමක් කියලා. Don't think like that. මමත් එහෙමයි. මම 2015 පළවෙනියා වුණාට පස්සේ මං හිතුවා මං ආයි ඉදිරිපත්. මොකද මං ආසයි දවස ගානේ ඩෙවලොප් වෙන්න. එතකොට මම හිතුවේ නෑ මං දෙවෙනියා නෙවෙයි මට ප්ලේස් එකක් නැති වුණා. මං ආසයි මගේ ප්‍රොඩක්ට් එක පෙන්නන්න, ප්‍රොඩක්ට් එකක් හදන්න ආසයි. So you have to think like that. Actually, I want to tell you, you all won this medals. ඔයා මේ medals ඔක්කොම දිනුවා කියලා හිතලා තියෙන්නේ මම නම්. ඒ දන්නවද? You have select this competition. ඔයා මේ select competition එකට ආවා කියන්නේ ඔයා දිනලා ඉවරයි. මොකද ඔයා මේ රට දියුණු කරන තාක්ෂණය හරහා දියුණු කරන කොටස්කාරයෙක් වෙලා ඉවරයි. ඒකයි ඔයා මේක select කරගත්තේ. So I wish you all the very best and good luck. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rasha madam. Thank you for your wonderful thoughts and leadership. Now, may I invite Hirosha? He is actually one of the champion of YCS champion in 2011, and all what he does right now is he's a digital aspiration with the finding new technologies to help the people and the organization to truly propose their lives and achieve their full potential in the business to using entire digital platforms. And he started his journey back in 2009 when he actually 2009 when he awarded with the world youngest Java web component developer by Sun Microsystem, and then we found the creative hubs in 5 years ago. So may I invite Pirosha De Silva, is the founder and CEO of Creative Hubs, to share his thoughts about his achievements and the guidance for you all and what is there for you to advise. So over to you, Pirosha.
Thanks a lot, Fairuz. It's an absolute pleasure to be here and then to be addressing all of you. So essentially, just to start off, like, my journey, it started when I was in grade 5 probably, right? When my uncle actually taught me some Visual Basic, right? So then I started coding from there, and then I was very much interested, with this getting into the technology side from that early on itself, right? Then so following Java, basically, what I did was I first completed this exam called Sun Certified Java Developer Examination, and then afterwards I proceeded on to Sun Certified Web Component Developer Examination also. And then from that particular exam, I became actually the world's youngest to complete that also, right? So then I was very much involved in the school as I went to Royal College, and then I was very much involved with all these this young YCS, and then also took part in things like, say, this young inventor, and then Olympiad competitions and all these things like that, because I was very much interested and involved in terms of understanding technology and exploring from early on itself, right? But even though, so soon after I completed my A levels, now I have a good technological background, but I was actually thinking, is it just software development that I want to do? Because I have a background of it, right? But or else, is it that I want to go above that, right? So then I think from my early times itself, I was very much interested and intrigued by entrepreneurship, right? They can කොහොම හරි මොන හරි මගේම දෙයක් පටන් ගන්න ඕනේ කියන ඌමනාව ඒ කාලේ ඉඳන්ම තිබ්බා. I think so then what happened was soon after I was done with A levels මම maths කරේ. Then with couple of my friends, I started my first venture, right? One that's called fitnesslanka.lk, because back in the days I was very much into the whole fitness thing, right? So this was something similar to workout.lk or probably something like that that's there right now, but back in the days there was no any say fitness aggregator as such, right? So what we did was with the two of other friends of mine as well, we aggregated all the gyms to pools to equipment and all this whatnot into one platform called fitnesslanka.lk, and then went on about it. But it did not make any money as such, right? So then afterwards I started one that's called goodsale.lk, right? So that's essentially it's sort of similar to in the aspect of something what you get ikman.lk, but with more of a I would say with a sales team also backed along with that particular products being sold of the vendors who's publishing those particular products, right? So again, can say that even that venture I successfully failed, right? So that also did not exactly worked out, right? So while these were going on, I started to work at a company called Scienter Technologies, right? So then they are into these providing of software solutions for hotels and finance companies and all, right? So I was in the business development, I mean in the sales side of them. So then since I had a good technological background and since I was exposed into like into tech this business development as well, I was able to explore on how how the software sales would work, right? So that was a very good exposure. Then alongside with that, with the learnings of that I got from this particular the previous successfully failed ventures as well, only I started actually Creative Hub, right? So then what happened was off my garage I started back in 2017, soon after I was done with my studies, and so then after that only I started this, right, with just recruiting one developer. Right now he's the person who is heading actually our development team as well, right? So now fast forward anyways, 5 years ahead, we are a team of 50, right, that comprises of say developers, UI UX designers, and digital marketers. So we sort of offer more of like a holistic 360 digital approach, right, where we work with clients from Australia, then UK, US, and Japan as well. So now just as we have essentially these particular client servicing aspect, we are also very much passionate about building our own products also, right? So one of the many successes that we've had is this one particular product called Marketrix, right? So which we are very much driving towards the as enterprise software coupled with Web3 and all, helping sales teams in B2B organizations for them to do their sales pitch, I mean later on even to in the metaverse as well, right? So then towards that direction is where we are driving this particular product, right? So so then this is essentially where we are, and then we are now being driven towards essentially how we can become just as we become stronger in our client servicing side, also how we can become a product oriented company also. So this is essentially somewhat of a snapshot of my story, right? But of course I'm sure you all can get one or two things from that for you to be inspired if you are to pursue on an entrepreneurial journey. So but mostly what I wanted to talk to you today is actually two lessons, right? Of that is two lessons. If I am to speak to my past self when I was starting up say the previous ventures, if I'm to speak to my past self and then give two advices, right? Because I'm sure most of y'all, since y'all are in the technological front, y'all would embark on your entrepreneurial journeys, right? So from the journey that I have taken, and of course a long way for me to go as well, right? But from this journey that I've undertaken so far, if I'm to give two advices, right, and two takes essentially, it would be, I would say the main one of the main lessons is that the importance of having a co-founder, right? Because now mostly the things that I've done, I would say it has been the fact that I've been doing on my own, right? So I've more or less been a lone wolf, right? So but having a co-founder, it would if you're starting up a new venture, it would allow you to sort of have that synergy and because then the other person, I mean co-founders for that matter, right? So then the other person or them, they would see the perspectives that you are not seeing, right? And then I mean overall in terms of, and also you don't need to essentially get burned out into a greater extent because there are other people to back you up also when you're starting your own startup, because starting a startup and then growing it and continuously delivering the value, that whatever the value that you are creating is not an easy journey, right? So then it comes with a lot of lot of hardships as well. So having a co-founder or co-founding or founding team, it would help you all to to embark on whatever the new ideas that you all are exploring on in a much better off manner. So that's one take that I can leave you with. So then the other take would be the importance of funding, right? So if I'm to think back, the reasons why this first venture, fitnesslanka.lk, or the second venture, goodsale.lk, why they failed, right? I would say is because there was no I was simply trying to make them work in a very without any funding involved in it, right? Even Creative Hub also, for that matter, we actually bootstrapped from the beginning itself, right? But if I'm to speak to my past self and then give the advice, I would say because now there are like compared to the time that I was starting up, the startup ecosystem in Sri Lanka has evolved to a great extent, right? Now there are investors in Sri Lanka as well who are actually willing to invest into very early stage startups, right? And at the same time, I don't think you need to just limit yourself to the finding investors and funding just in Sri Lanka. Why not look at straight away outside also? So these are some of the learnings, two of the main learnings that I would like to share to whoever the ones who already have an idea about starting your own venture, or also could give some sort of an inspiration to for you to think about aspiring to start your own venture as well. So that is my journey. Those are just some two takes that I can share from my journey as well, and I would like to wish all of you all the very best. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Rosha, for your wonderful thoughts and guidance, as well as the motivation for the young, I would say, young entrepreneurs and innovative. So, මම හිතන්නේ මේ සිංහල භාෂාවෙත් කිව්වා නම් තව පොඩ්ඩක් පැහැදිලි කියලා ළමයින්ට මේ ඉරෝෂ why don't you just speak about few words in සිංහල එතකොට ඒක පොඩ්ඩක් හොඳයි කියලා හිතනවා.
Sure Fairuz. එතකොට දැන් මම පොඩ්ඩක් ඔය ටික ආයේ සාරාංශයක් වගේ දෙන්න නම් ඒ කියන්නේ මගේ මේ ජර්නි එක ගැන මම කිව්වේ ඒත් එක්ක මට දෙන්න පුළුවන් like advisors කීපයක් නම් දෙකක් ඇත්තටම නම් ඒක තමයි පළවෙනි එක තමයි ඒ කියන්නේ අර අලුතෙන් දෙයක් පටන් ගනිද්දී co-founder කෙනෙක් ඒ කියන්නේ තව partner කෙනෙක් එක්ක ඇත්තටම පටන් ගන්න එක ඒක ඇත්තටම හොඳ idea එකක් rather than just trying to තමන්ගේ on your own ඒක කරගෙන යන්න බලනවට වඩා right ඒක එකම එකක් අනිත් එක තමයි importance of funding ඒ කියන්නේ පුළුවන්කමක් තියනවා නම් ඒ කියන්නේ තමන්ම ඒ කියන්නේ මුලින් ඉඳන් මේ platform ඒ කියන්නේ software platform එකක් හරි මොකක් හරි whatever the thing that you all are working on ඒක තමන්ම කරන්න බලනවට වඩා ඒ කියන්නේ මේකට funding එකක් කාගෙන් හරි හොයාගෙන because there are ඒ කියන්නේ investors ලා ඉන්න ඕන තරම් right ලංකාවෙත් දැන් startups වලට invest කරන්න මිනිස්සු කැමති වෙන තත්ත්වයට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා. ඒත් එක ලංකාවේ ෆන්ඩින් වලට විතරක්ම ඇත්තටම කොටු වෙන්න අවශ්‍ය නැහැ because ඒ කියන්නේ outside fund නුත් අපිට ඇත්තටම බලන්න පුළුවන්. ඉතින් මගේ මේන් අවවාද දෙක නම් ඇත්තටම ගත්තොත් ඒ කියන්නේ තමන් දෙයක් පටන් ගන්න හදද්දී co-founder කෙනෙක් එක්ක පුළුවන් නම් ඒක පටන් ගන්න යන එක. එතකොට අර තමන්ටම ඒ කියන්නේ startup එකක් කරගෙන යන එක ඒ කියන්නේ ඒක ගොඩක්ම ලේසි කියලා කියන්න බෑ. ඉතින් ඒකින්දා අර co-founder කෙනෙකුත් එක්ක ඒක කරද්දි තමන් දකින්න නැති පැති අනිත් පැති ඒ අනිත් පුද්ගලයාට පෙනෙන්න පුළුවන් right. ඒත් එක්ක අනිත් දේ තමයි මම කියපු විදිහට අර වගේ ෆන්ඩින් එකක් ඒ කියන්නේ කැපිටල් එකක් ප්‍රාග්ධනයක් කාගෙන් හරි ඒ වගේ හොයාගෙන අපිට මේක ඉස්සරහට ඒ කියන්නේ තමන්ගේ අයිඩියා එක කරන්න බලන්න පුළුවන් නම් එතකොට ඒක සක්සස් කරගන්න පුළුවන් ඇත්තටම තියෙන සම්භාවිතාවය වැඩි කරගන්න පුළුවන් අපිට. මගේ ජර්නි එකෙන් මට ෂෙයා කරන්න පුළුවන් ඇඩ්වයිසස් දෙකක් තමයි මේ දෙක. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Hirosha.
Thanks, Virus. Thank you very much for having me.
All right. Tamil வழியில கேட்கிற மாணவர்களுக்கும் நான் சின்ன ஒரு விளக்கம் வரதுக்காக வேண்டிய ஒரு சின்ன ஒரு அறிவுரையை சொல்லிக் முடிக்கிறேன். அரோஷாஸோட விஷயம் நீங்க புதிதாக ஒரு விடயத்தை கண்டுபிடிச்சுன்னு சொன்னால் அதை நீங்க 7 மாதம் வரைக்கும் அதை நீங்க எப்படி அதை மார்க்கெட்டுக்கு கொண்டு போகிறது நீங்க தனியா முயற்சி செய்யாமலுக்கு ஏன்னா நீங்க சின்ன பிள்ளைகள் உங்களுக்கு நிறைய சப்போர்ட் தேவை ஃபண்டிங் ஃபைனான்சியல் அதாவது நிறைய காசு தேவைப்படும் மற்றது ஒரு ப்ராடக்ட் ஒன்று நாங்கள் மார்க்கெட்டுக்கு எடுத்துட்டு போறோம்னு சொன்னால் அது லேசான வேலையில் அதுக்கு நிறைய சப்போர்ட்கள் தேவை நிறைய டெக்னாலஜி தேவை அதனால ஒரு கோ ஃபவுண்டர் அதாவது இன்னொருத்தர் இந்த ஏற்கனவே வேலை செஞ்சு கொண்டிருக்கிறவங்களோட சேர்ந்து நாங்கள் செய்கிற நேரத்தில் அவங்களோட அனுபவத்தை எடுத்துக்கொண்டு எங்களுக்கு போற நேரம் எங்களோட ரிஸ்கை குறைச்சு கொள்ளையிலும் அடுத்தது எங்களோட டார்கெட் வந்து நாங்கள் கண்டுபிடிச்ச அந்த ப்ராடக்ட் நாங்கள் எப்படி சரி மார்க்கெட் பண்ணி கொள்ளணும் அதை நாங்கள் அதுக்கு மேலே கொண்டு போவோம்னு சொன்னா நாங்கள் தனியாக எடுத்துக்கொண்டு போகணும்னு சில நேரம் செய்யலாம் போகலாம் எங்களுக்கு அதனால நீங்க ஒரு கோஃபவுண்டருக்குள்ளால போற நேரம் அது கொஞ்சம் வசதியா இருக்குன்றது தான் அவர் எம்பசைஸ் பண்ணாரு அவரும் 2-3 தடவை ஃபெயில் ஆகித்தான் இப்ப ஒரு நல்ல ஒரு சக்சஸ்ஃபுல்லான ஒரு கம்பெனி வந்து ரன் பண்ணக்கூடிய நிலைமைக்கு அவர் வந்திருக்கிறாரு அதனாலதான் நாங்க அவரை கொண்டு வந்தாங்க அவர் YCS 2011ஆம் ஆண்டு YCSல சாம்பியன் ஆனவர் அவர் அது ஒரு முன்மாதிரியா அமைஞ்சது மேற்கொண்டு அவரை பயணத்தை ஆரம்பிக்கிறதுக்கு அது கொஞ்சம் வசதியா அமைஞ்சது மேற்கொண்டு அவர் இப்ப வந்து நல்ல ஒரு நிலைமையில கிட்டத்தட்ட ஒரு 25-30 பேருக்கு மேல அவருக்கு வேலை செய்யறாங்க மற்றது அவர் கம்பெனியில கிட்டத்தட்ட ஒரு 5-6 நாடுகளுக்கு மேல ஜப்பான்ல இருந்து இந்த யூரோப் கண்ட்ரீஸ்ல இருந்து ஈஸ்ட் ஏஷியால இருந்து எல்லா இடத்துலயும் அவருக்கு அவங்களுக்கு கிளைண்ட்ஸ் கஸ்டமர்ஸ் இருக்கிறாங்க இங்க ஸ்ரீலங்காவில் இருந்து கொண்டு அவங்க எல்லா இடத்துக்கும் சர்வ் பண்ணி கொண்டிருக்கிறாங்க ஸோ அவர் ஒரு முன்மாதிரி உங்களுக்கு ஆகவே உங்களுக்கு ஏதாவது டவுட் இருக்குன்னு சொன்னால் அதுல உங்களோட இடத்துல Q&A ஆப்ஷன் ஒன்று இருக்குது அதுல நீங்க உங்களோட கொஸ்டின்களை பதிவு செய்யலாம் நாங்கள் அதுக்குரிய விளக்கத்தை தருவோம் මමත් අවසර පැහැදිලි කරන්න මෙතන Q&A කියන ඔප්ෂන් එකක් තියෙනවා ඒ Q&A එක ඔයගොල්ලෝ ප්‍රශ්නයක් මොනවා හරි අහන්න තියෙනවා නම් එතන ඔයගොල්ලෝ ටයිප් කරන්න අපි ඒකට උත්තර දෙන්නම් if you have any questions please go to Q&A tab and then you can type your questions we will answer to those questions towards the end of the session. All right. Now we are coming to the important section where about the timeline and how we are going to do the judging process and all that. As you know that due to the situation in the country, especially the power failure and the fuel queue, and one of our 2 speakers actually, Dr. Samantha Madarachchi from UCSC, he's stuck and he's unable to move out, and so therefore he asked me to do that session on behalf of him. I will cover that part. First of all, you must remember the closing date. Application closing date is 31st July, end of this month. And this has made it very clear this time through the circular from Ministry of Education that you must apply online. And there is if you go to that form that we have made that form, once you fill that form, you will receive that copy of that form coming to you through the email. So you have to give a valid email address to receive that. Then that form, the filled form, you have to produce it to your principal and then get the signature from your principal and then scan it and upload it. That upload link, we will share the upload link or no before the closing date because we cannot just keep on saying that because it's a sort of a long process for us to process it at the back end and then create the link to upload your files and all that because we have to maintain that properly because that will be transferred to the judging process and then whole thing happen automatically. So therefore you cannot just do that process again and again to send you multiple links and all that. So we will do it towards later part of the application closing date and or no before the application closing date. Thereafter, we will not accept any application beyond that. And there has been a situation in the past as well, where the students used to apply later, and then it became an issue when it comes to managing such things, logistics issues and so on. Therefore, this time it is must and mandatory for you all to register online. So you can register by going to Ministry of Education website. You can also go to YCS.lk and register it, as well as now there are social media pages available on Facebook, in the LinkedIn, Instagram, where if you type young computer scientist YCS, you will get that. And you should be able to, the link is available there. Or YCS.lk. Just go there, the home page itself, you will find the link. Just register it. And please make sure you do it before 31st July. That's number one. Number two, you will be given a link to upload your project. Unlike previously, last year and previous year, we have given you the link to upload the project. We haven't accepted the physical files due to COVID situations and all that. But this year it's going to be same. But last year there has been situation where students used to send the files through the registered post as well. Then there were communication gaps and all that. So this year it has been clearly instructed that we will not accept any physical, but you have to upload your project because you are doing the IT projects. So you cannot say, I don't know, I didn't receive links and all that, because we have a trace. We have audit logs where the email has been sent, email is opened by you all or not, we can trace everything. We are maintaining that for our transparency as well as to ensure that you have access to those and all that. So I'll explain. Mama single භාෂාවෙන් කියන්න මොකද වැදගත් කාරණාවල් මේක අපිට ගිය අවුරුද්දේ අපිට සමහර ප්‍රශ්න වලට මුහුණ දෙන්න සිද්ධ වුණා. ඒ නිසා මම පැහැදිලිවම කියන්නම් application එක ඔයගොල්ලෝ competition එකට apply කරන application deadline එක මේ මාස අන්තිමේ වෙනකන් තියෙනවා. ජූලයි 30 වෙනකන් තියෙනවා. ඒ නිසා කරුණාකරලා ඔයගොල්ලෝගේ application එක online එකෙන් submit කරන්න. ඔයගොල්ලෝ දෙන email address එකට ඔයගොල්ලෝගේ personal email address එකට ඔයගොල්ලෝ apply කරන application form එකේ copy එකක් email එකෙන් එනවා. ඒ copy එක ඔයගොල්ලෝ print out අරගෙන ගිහිල්ලා principal විදුහල්පතිතුමාගේ අත්සම අරගෙන ඒක scan කරලා ඔයගොල්ලෝ upload කරන්න ඕනේ. ඔයගොල්ලෝට අපි link එකක් යවනවා. ඔයගොල්ලෝ project එක upload කරන්න. ඒ folder එකටම ඔයගොල්ලෝ upload කරන්න. වෙන මොකුත් කරන්න අවශ්‍ය නැහැ. ඔයගොල්ලෝ take on registered post එක යවන්න පුළුවන් අමාත්‍යාංශයට මේක බාර දුන්නා කියලා ඔප්පු කරන්න. හැබැයි ඒක 100%ක් අවශ්‍ය නැහැ. ඔයගොල්ලෝ මේ පිළිවෙල හරියට කරනවා නම්. ඔයගොල්ලෝට screenshot එකම අරන් තියාගන්න පුළුවන්. evidence එකට. හරි. එතකොට ඔයගොල්ලෝ submit කරා නම් ඒකේ screenshot එක අරන් තියාගන්න පුළුවන්. ඒක ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. මොන හරි ප්‍රශ්නයක් වුණොත් ඔයගොල්ලන්ට produce කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඒක කොහෙ ඇති වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒක අමාත්‍යාංශයේ බාරව තියෙන system එක. ඒක කවුරුත් ඒකට ගිහිලා මොකද delete කරන්න යන්නෙත් නෑ. අපිට අපි පුළුවන් තරම් ළමයින්ට උදව් කරන්න තමයි අපි බලන්නේ. ඒ වුණාට මේ deadline එක වෙනස් වෙන්නේ නෑ. අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම 30ට කලින් ඔයගොල්ලෝ submit කරන්න. ඔයගොල්ලෝ apply කරන එක මේ දැන් වුණත් ඔයගොල්ලෝ කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඇයි ඕක අන්තිම මොහොතේ වෙනකන් තියාගෙන ඉන්නේ? මොකද ළමයින්ට දැනට product ඔයගොල්ලෝ හදපු එකක් නැත්නම් ඒක දැන් හදන්න බෑ. තව දවස් 10ක 15ක හදන්න බෑ. හදපු ළමයින් හදලා ලෑස්ති වුණ ළමයින්ට විතරයි මේක කරන්න පුළුවන්. එතකොට ඔයගොල්ලන්ට දැන් මම කතා කරන ගමන් YCS.lk කියන වෙබ්සයිට් එකට ගියා නම් උතන ඉස්සරහම තියෙනවා registration. ඒ ක්ලික් කරලා ඔයගොල්ලන්ට දැන්ම register කරලා ඒක ඉවර කරන්න. එතකොට ඒ වැඩ ඉවර. ඔක අන්තිම මොහොතේ වෙනකන් තියාගෙන ඉඳලා ඔයගොල්ලෝ ප්‍රොජෙක්ට් ඔක්කොම හදලා ඉවරලා ඊට පස්සේ දාන්න ගියාම තමයි ඔය ප්‍රශ්න වල ඔක්කොම එන්නේ. කරුණාකරලා ඒක අනිවාර්යෙන්ම ඔයගොල්ලෝ apply කරන්න හිතාගෙන ඉන්නවා නම් ඒක වහාම ඒ වැඩේ කරන්න. registration process එක ඉවර කරන්න. අනිත් එක ඔයගොල්ලෝ registration ඉවර වුණාන් පස්සේ ඔයගොල්ලෝට email එකක් එනවා විදුහල්පතිතුමාගෙන් ඒ print out එක අරගෙන ගිහලා අසමාරගෙන ඒක upload කරන්න. අපි file එකක් මේ link එකක් යවනවා. ඒක link එක යවන්නේ cut off date 30th න 30th නැත්නම් ඒ සුමානකට අපි යවනවා. ඔයගොල්ලන්ට ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා නම් ඔයගොල්ලන්ට ycs@tts.lk එකට ඊමේල් එකක් දාන්න. ඊමේල් එකක් දැම්මම අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම ඕක ට්‍රේස් වෙනවාමයි. කෝල් කරනවට වඩා ඊමේල් දාන එක හොඳයි. මොකද ඊමේල් එක අපි නිතරම බලනවා. අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම කවුරු හරි එක්කෙනෙක් වගකීම් පුද්ගලයෙක් ඒක බලනවා. ඒකේ කොපි එකක් අපි අමාත්‍යාංශ එකටත් යවනවා. එතකොට ඒක වරදින විදියක් නෑ. අපේ පැත්තෙනොත් අපි ඒක අනිවාර්යෙන් බලමු. කෝල් එකක් කරොත් වෙන්නේ ඒ කෝල් එකේදී අපි කවුරු හරි එක්කෙනෙක් අරගෙන සමහරවිට මොනවා හරි එකක් අමතක වෙලා ගියොත් හරි මිස් වුණොත් හරි ඊට පස්සේ ඒක හොයාගන්න බෑ. ඒ නිසා කරුණාකරලා ඊමේල් එකක් දාන්න. එතකොට මේ ප්‍රශ්නේ කවුරු හරි වගකීම් පුද්ගලයෙක් බාර අරගෙන වැඩේ කරලා දෙනවා. right. தமிழ்ல சொல்லி முடிக்கிறேன். முக்கியமான விஷயம் எங்களோட டெட்லைன் நாங்க வந்து இந்த மாச கடைசியில ஜூலை 30ஆம் தேதி. நீங்க 30ஆம் தேதி வரைக்கும் வெயிட் பண்ண தேவையில்லை. நீங்க இப்பவே நீங்க YCS.lk என்ற வெப்சைட்டுக்கு போனீங்கன்னு சொன்னால் அதுல முதலாவதுல முன்னுக்கே இருக்கும் ரெஜிஸ்ட்ரேஷன் சொல்லி அப்ளிகேஷன் ரெஜிஸ்ட்ரேஷன் அதை நீங்க கிளிக் பண்ணி ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்ணி முடியுங்க. முதலாவது வேலை முடிச்சு கட் ஆஃப் டேட்டுக்கு 30ஆம் தேதி அல்ல அந்த 2 நாளுக்குள்ள உங்களுக்கு இமெயில் ஒன்று வரும். உங்களோட ப்ரொஜெக்டை சப்மிட் பண்ண சொல்லி. இப்போ நீங்க சப்மிட் பண்ணின உடனே ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்ணின உடனே உங்களுக்கு ஒரு இமெயில் ஒன்று வரும். நீங்க அப்ளை சப்மிட் பண்ண ஃபார்ம் அப்படியே உங்களுக்கு சாஃப்ட் காப்பி ஒன்று வரும். அந்த காப்பியை நீங்க பிரிண்ட் அவுட் எடுத்து பிரின்சிபல் கொடுத்து சைன் பண்ணி ஸ்கேன் பண்ணி வச்சுக்கொள்ளுங்க. உங்களுக்கு அந்த லிங்க் வந்தோடனே அந்த லிங்க்ல அப்லோட் பண்ணிவிடும். உங்களோட ப்ரொஜெக்ட் அப்லோட் பண்ண வர லிங்க்லேயே அதையும் போடணும். அப்போ உங்களுக்கு ஒரு ஃபோல்டர் ஒன்று தனி ஃபோல்டர் ஒன்று கிரியேட் ஆகும். அந்த ஃபோல்டருக்குள்ள தான் உங்களோட இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் எல்லாம் இருக்க போகுது. ஸோ உங்களுக்கு அதுல நீங்க சப்மிட் பண்ண உடனே உங்களுக்கு நாங்க வந்து கன்ஃபர்மேஷன் அனுப்புவோம். பட் நீங்க ஒரு ஸ்கிரீன்ஷாட் எடுத்து வச்சுக்கொள்ளலாம் உங்களோட எவிடன்ஸுக்கு. இவ்வளவுதான் நீங்க செய்ய போறீங்க. அடுத்து ப்ரொஜெக்டை நீங்க சப்மிட் பண்ணதுக்கு பிறகு அதில் இவாலுவேஷன் இடத்தை பற்றி நான் இப்போ உங்களுக்கு சின்ன விளக்கமா சொல்லுவேன்னா எங்களுக்கு அந்த அந்த விளக்கம் கொடுக்குறது UCSC தான் ஜட்ஜிங் ப்ராசஸ் செய்கிறது. அது UCSC லெக்சருக்கு வர முடியாத சிச்சுவேஷன் அவர் பவர் ஃபெயிலியர் பெட்ரோல் அடிக்கிறதுக்கு இவ்வளோன்றதால அவரால் வந்து கொள்ளலாம் போனது. அதனால நான் அது சம்பந்தமான ஒரு விளக்கம் உண்டு. ஒரு மிக சுருக்கமான ஒரு விளக்கத்தை நான் சொல்லி முடிக்கிறேன். ஓகே. Now let me share my screen and explain you about the judging process. It's supposed to be done by Dr. Samantha. Due to unfortunate situation, he is unable to make it. So let me cover that. He is a senior lecturer from University of Colombo, School of Computing, UCSC. Now, once you submit your project, now you will be given a link to upload your project, and we will hand it over to UCSC for the judging process, the evaluation. So there are first round of evaluation where the project screening happens. During this evaluation or the investigation of software, hardware projects is part of the methodological survey or to assess the sustainability for the second round, whether this project can be taken to the second round or not. Right, the type of projects where the software projects or software-based project or hardware-based project using available resources or video demonstration or call for demonstration. So they will call you. Basically, if they have any issues and all that, so they will call you. So if it is a hardware-based project, you have to do that video demonstration and send it to them, upload it, and they will call you for the demonstration if it is required, right? This is the maximum. It's 5 minutes, should not exceed the timeline also. And then the second round evaluation, it's based on the presentation and the viva, where there will be 5 or 7 member panel will be there in the evaluation, including academic staff as well as the industry experts. So how the marking scheme given, where the uniqueness of the project or the product or the idea, where the application of the technology. So the uniqueness, you get 20%. On that 20%, you get 50% goes to the how you apply the technology, and another 50% goes to the innovativeness of that product. And then the POC, proof of concept, they give 20%, allocate 20% of marks. The understanding of the problem to be solved that's 50%. Whatever the problem that they are trying to solve, whether they understood that problem that they are going to solve, and understanding the business environment. So it's should be applicable in the business environment. You can solve the problem nice way and all that, but if you can't apply that in the industry, then it's a problem, right? So it should be understandable of the business environment. And the functionalities and features, then again, they give 30% of the weightage goes to functionality and features, where on that user requirement, give more preference 50%, and compatibility and interoperability, because you can have, but even if it is not working in interconnected way, then it's a problem. So that also being taken care by another 50%. And finally, the quality of the product is 50%. So it has to be very finished and reliable, and the contents and the standards and all that, you have to match the content and standard. It gives 60% of the weightage, and 40% goes to the product stability and the reliability. Now that's first round. Second round, where it's slightly differ from the first round. The second round, we look at the uniqueness of the product and the POC and the functionalities and the features, the quality and the presentation. So in the presentation, they give additional 20 marks. So how you present it and how you know that answer to the questions and all that matters. And finally, evaluation, which is internal. So once that all that evaluation is over, or the presentation, the first and second round is over, they will do the internal evaluation and they'll do overall discussion, and then they select the best out of the best project, or the software or the hardware. So each panel, the 6 to 7 members of the panel members, they have to explain why they select this as a best product. But on this one, there is no impartiality done. It's done by UCSC as per the standard. And sometimes we also feel embarrassed. Even they don't even look at up to this level for the undergraduates. We sometimes we also find, why are you looking at this much? Because even undergraduates also not got to this level. They give a proper evaluation and they give the marks accordingly. Right. Let me just address this in Sinhala and Tamil as well. Sinhala මට තමල්ලෙන් සර්ත සුනිට පොරන් සිංහල භාෂාව සහ දෙමළ භාෂාවෙන් මම පොඩ්ඩක් පැහැදිලි කරගෙන යන්නම්. එතකොට හැමෝටම මේක තේරෙන්න පුළුවන් වෙයි. මේක රවුන්ඩ් දෙකක් තියෙනවා. ෆස්ට් රවුන්ඩ් එකේදී අපි කරන්නේ ප්‍රොජෙක්ට් ස්ක්‍රීනින් එක. එතනදී අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ කොහොමද මෙයා සබ්මිට් කරපු software එක, hardware එක, නැත්නම් project එක මොන වගේ methodological use කරලා තියෙනවද, මේක second round එකට ගෙනියන්න පුළුවන්ද, මොනවා හරි දෙයක් තියෙනවද මේකේ. එතනදී first round එකේදී ගොඩාක් deep යන්නේ නැහැ. first round second round එකේදී කවුරුත් කතා කරේ නැහැ කියන එක තේරුම ඇවිල්ලා එක්කෝ software එක මේක ඇති වැඩක් නෑ, නැත්නම් මේක වැඩ කරන්නේ නැත්නම් start මේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ instruction ඔක්කොම දීලා යවන්න ඕනේ. එහෙම දාපුවා මොකද වැඩ කරන්නේ නැත්නම් ඒගොල්ලෝ සමහර විට ගියසරේ නම් කතා කරලා දුන්නා, ඔයගොල්ලෝ මේක setup කරලා මොකද මොන හරි issue එකක් තියෙනවා, ඒගොල්ලෝට තේරෙනවා මේක මේ ළමයට මොන හරි වැරදුනාද දන්නේ නැහැ කියලා හිතනවා නම් ඒ වෙලාවේදී පොඩි chance එකක් දුන්නා. එහෙම නැත්නම් ඒගොල්ලෝ ඒක reject කරලා දානවා. එතකොට ඒ දෙන instruction එක අනුව හරියට පැහැදිලිවම දෙන්න ඕනේ. අපි මේ instruction ටික අපි ඊළඟ round එකේදී අපි තව session එකක් කරනවා. කොහොමද ඔයගොල්ලෝ project එක upload කරන්නේ, කොහොමද මේවා ෆයිල් ටික හදලා කොහොමද සබ්මිට් කරන්නේ, ඒ ඔක්කොම අපි පැහැදිලි මේ කිරීමක් කරන්න. එතකොට අපි ඒක පැහැදිලி කියන්න. முதலாவது ரவுண்ட்ல நடக்கிறது என்னன்னு சொன்னா, இந்த ப்ராஜெக்ட் சாஃப்ட்வேர் அல்லது ஹார்ட்வேர் நீங்க சப்மிட் பண்ணதை எங்களுக்கு அடுத்த ஸ்டேஜுக்கு கொண்டு போக இயலுமா? ஏன்னு சொன்னா நாங்க அந்த அடுத்த ஸ்டேஜ்ல நாங்க 5ல இருந்து 7 வரைக்கும் அசஸ் பண்றதுக்கு லெக்சரர்ஸ் இருப்பாங்க, இண்டஸ்ட்ரி பிரசன்டேஷனும் இருப்பாங்க. அப்ப அவங்களுக்கு பார்க்குற நேரம் இதை அக்செப்ட் பண்ணக்கூடிய ப்ராஜெக்டா இருக்கணும். இதை இவாலுவேட் பண்றதுக்கு ஏதாவது ஒரு விஷயம் இருக்கும். நான் சொல்ற ஏதாவது ஒரு விஷயம் இல்லை, நல்ல குவாலிட்டியான ஐட்டமா இருக்கணும். நாங்க செலக்ட் பண்றது இதுல இருந்து அபிக்டா வரைக்கும் இன்டர்நேஷனல் காம்படிஷனுக்கு போகக்கூடிய ஆட்களை செலக்ட் பண்ண போறோம். அப்ப அந்த ஸ்டாண்டர்டுக்குள்ள நீங்க வர வைக்க பார்க்கணும். இதுல நாங்க செலக்ட் பண்றது வந்து சாஃப்ட்வேர் பேஸ்ட் ப்ராடக்ட் ஓ ஹார்ட்வேர் பேஸ்ட் ப்ராடக்ட். இப்போ ஹார்ட்வேர் பேஸ்ட் ப்ராடக்ட்னு சொன்னா நீங்க வந்து ஒரு வீடியோ டெமான்ஸ்ட்ரேஷனை எப்படி அதெல்லாம் செய்யறதை செஞ்சு ஒரு வீடியோ டெமான்ஸ்ட்ரேஷனை கொடுக்கணும். அது அவங்க வந்து செகண்ட் ரவுண்ட்ல கால் பண்ணி டெமான்ஸ்ட்ரேஷன் கேட்பாங்க. அப்போ நீங்க அதை போட்டு காட்டுமே. ஹார்ட்வேர் ப்ராஜெக்ட் பிஎஸ் ப்ராஜெக்ட் காட்டினா உங்களோட करना எனக்கு வீடியோ டெமான்ஸ்ட்ரேஷன் का ಅದನ್ನ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ करला या बंद होने सेकंड राउंड के सिलेक्ट होना මේක දැන් අපි virtual में යන්න උන කෝල් කරලා අපි zoom link එකක් කරේවල එතනින් අපි බලනවා මේ UCS එකේ බලලා ඒගොල්ලෝ තීරණය කරනවා ඊ අවුරුද්දේ එහෙම තමයි කරේ. ඒ වෙනාට ගොඩාක් වෙලාවට ඔයගොල්ලන්ට එන්න වෙයි ෆිසිකලි. මෙතන දැන් පැන්ඩමික් වගේ සිටුේෂන් එකක් නෑ. රටේ තත්ත්වය යථාර්ථයට කියලා හිතනවා. ඒ නිසා අපිට ඊම අවශ්‍යතාවය වෙන එකක් නෑ. ඔයගොල්ලන්ට කෙරෙන්න බැවිලා ඩෙමොන්ස්ට්‍රේට් කරන්න වෙයි. ඒ විනාඩි 5ක් අතරත කරනවා. right? Second stage දෙවෙනි වටේදී වෙන්නේ මේක ඔයගොල්ලෝ ප්‍රසන්ටේෂන් එක වයින් ඔයගොල්ලෝ මේක ඉදිරිපත් කරන්න ඕනේ. it should be there members පස් දෙනෙක් හෝ හත් දෙනෙක් වල members ඇති. එතන academic staff UCS එකේ staff plus industry එකේ අපි වගේ software companies වල නැත්නම් industry එකේ ඉන්න senior තරගෙන තමයි මේ evaluation එක කරන්නේ. so ரெண்டாவது கட்டத்துல பிரசன்டேஷனும் வைவாவும் நடக்கும். அதில் யூனிவர்சிட்டியில இருந்தும் மற்ற இண்டஸ்ட்ரியில இருந்தும் 5 தொடக்கம் 7 பேர் வரைக்கும் பேனல்ல இருப்பாங்க. இதுல මෙතනදී මම හිතන්නේ මේක ඔයගොල්ලන්ට තේරලා ඇති. අපි කොහොමද මේ ඉවැලුවේෂන් එක කරන්නේ කියලා. இதுல நான் உங்களுக்கு கூட விளங்கப்படுத்த தேவையில்லைன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். எப்படி இவ்வளவு செய்யறது யூனிக்னஸ், ப்ரூஃப் ஆஃப் கான்செப்ட், ஃபங்க்ஷனாலிட்டி, குவாலிட்டி அண்ட் மொத்தமா டோட்டல் how much you are gaining. This is how it's been done. Final evaluation வந்து it's அது வந்து அவங்க உள்ளுக்கு தான். அவங்க வேற யாரும் இதில் நீங்க சம்மந்தப்படுறது இல்லை. நீங்க எல்லாம் முடிச்சதுக்கு பிறகு அவங்க டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணிட்டு இந்த ஜட்ஜஸ் எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணணும் ஏன் இவங்க இந்த ப்ராஜெக்ட் அவங்க செலக்ட் பண்ணினா வினரா செலக்ட் பண்ண ஐ மே ப்ராජෙක්ට් එක මේගොල්ලෝ තෝරගත්තේ කියලා ජජස්ලා එක්ස්ප්ලেইন කරන්න ඕනේ පැනල් එකට බෝඩ් එකට. ඒගොල්ලෝ ඩිෆෙන්ඩ් කරලා තමයි කියන්නේ හරි මේ අදාළ පළවෙනියා මෙයා වෙන්න දෙවෙනියා මෙයා වෙන්න පුළුවන් කියලා ඒ ජජ් ඔයගොල්ලෝ ජජ් කරපු ගමන් ඊට පස්සේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ වෙනුවෙන් කතා කරනවා. එන්නේ මේ ළමයා හොඳට කරලා තිබ්බා මේකේ මෙන්න මෙච්චර යුනික්නස් තිබ්බා කියලා කොහොම හරි එතනින් ජජස්ලා කතා කරලා තමයි තීන්දුවට එන්නේ හරි මෙයා තමයි මේ ප්‍රොජෙක්ට් එක අපිට යවන්න පුළුවන් අපිට ඇකට. මොකද එතන ගිහිල්ලා දිනන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕන. අපිට අපිට වින් பண்ணக்கூடிய மாதிரி இருக்கணும். அதனாலதான் அதுல நீங்க எந்த ஒரு யாரையுமே அவங்க வந்து கீழே போட்டு பார்க்குறதுல யாரையும் வந்து அந்த இடத்துல யாரும் எப்படி யாரையும் தாழ்த்தி பார்க்கறது அப்படி ஒன்றும் இல்லை. எல்லாருமே அவங்க ட்ரை பண்றது நீங்க சரியா செஞ்சிருந்தீங்கன்னு சொன்னா கூட உங்களுக்காக வேண்டி அவங்களை எப்படி அடுத்த லெவலுக்கு கொண்டு போறது பற்றி தான் அவங்க யோசிப்பாங்க. ඔගොල්ලෝ හරියට කරලා තිබ්බා නම් ඔගොල්ලෝ කොහොමද ඉස්සරහට ගෙනියන්නේ කියන එක තමයි ඒගොල්ලෝ ෆයිට් කරන්නේ. ඒගොල්ලෝ අතර තරංගයක් ඇති වෙයි ඊට පස්සේ. ලෙක්චර්ස්ලා ඇතුලේ මේ ළමයා හොඳයි මේ ළමයා කොහොමද ඉස්සරහට ගෙනියන්නේ නේ මේ ළමයාට කොහොමද ඇෆෙක්ට් එක කියලා දිනන්න පුළුවන් කියලා ඒගොල්ලෝ ඊට පස්සේ අපි සපෝට් කරනවා මෙන්ටරින් කරනවා. ගියසර අපි ඔය වැඩේ කරලා කොහොමද ළමයි 3 දෙනෙක් ඉන්න. நாங்க போன முறை லெக்சர்ஸோட சேர்ந்து பிள்ளைகளுக்கு அஃபெக்ட் போனவங்களுக்கு நாங்க மென்டரிங் செஷன் பண்ணி அவங்க வந்து வின் பண்ணிடுவோம். ஸோ அதனால இருக்குது மற்றது. Now let's see the common mistakes. First round evaluation, the biggest mistake is the file upload errors. They would have uploaded few files, some files have been corrupted, they would have not checked it. You have to make sure you check each and every file individually. Once the cutoff date is over, we will not allow you to resubmit again. This will be disconnected automatically. These are automated system. So you must upload it first. Once cutoff is over, you will not extend that. And some files are missing, some files are unreadable, and links and navigation errors because you have to give how to set up the program because you are just submitting, you're building some application and somebody needs to set it up. You have to give that instruction properly. And when you use third-party software and if you don't mention it but another third-party software that you use, then there's a problem. So some files are not compatible. with the existing applications or operating system. So මේවා සාමාන්‍ය සිදුවෙන වැරදි ටික අප්ලෝඩ් කරපු ෆයිල්ස් වල මොනවාරි වැරද්දක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්, ෆයිල් එකක් කරප්ට් වෙලා යන්න පුළුවන්, ෆයිල් එකක් මිසිං වෙලා වෙන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙම නැත්නම් සමහර ෆයිල් එක රීඩ් කරන්න බැරි වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඔයගොල්ලෝ read me ෆයිල් එකක් දාලා ඔය read me ෆයිල් එක රීඩ් කරන්න බැරි නම් ඔයගොල්ලෝ ඕපන් කරලා බලන්න ඕනේ. ඔයගොල්ලන්ට ඕපන් කරන්න පුළුවන් නම් අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම අනිත් පැත්තේ ඉන්න එක්කනට ඕපන් කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඔයගොල්ලෝ මේක ඕපන් කරලා බැලුවේ නැත්නම් කන්ෆර්ම් කරේ නැත්නම් ඔයගොල්ලන්ට ෂුවර් නෑ මම අප්ලෝඩ් කරපු එක යාට ඕපන් කරන්න පුළුවන්ද බැරි වුණාද? කට් ඔෆ් ඩේට් එකෙන් පස්සේ මුකුත් කරන්න බෑ. සෝ කරුණාකරලා ඒක චෙක් කරගන්න. අනිත් එක දැන් ඔයගොල්ලෝ ෆයිල් ප්‍රෝග්‍රෑම් එකක් බිල්ඩ් කරලා ඒක දෙන්නේ. එතකොට ඒක කොහොමද ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ ලැප්ටොප් එකේ ඒගොල්ලෝ සෙටප් කරන්න ඕනේ. සෙටප් කරලා තමයි නිකන් වර්ඩ් ෆයිල් එක ප්‍රසන්ටේෂන් නෙවෙයි යවන්නේ. ඔයගොල්ලෝ බිල්ඩ් කරපු ඇප්ලිකේෂන් එක යවන්නේ. එතකොට ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ ලැප්ටොප් එකේ ඒගොල්ලෝ සෙටප් කරලා මොකක්ද තියෙන්න ඕන ප්‍රීරික්විසිට් ඒ ඔක්කොම අපි ගයිඩන්ස් එක දෙනවා. ඒක හරියට දුන්නේ නැත්නම් එතන ඒක සෙටප් කරන්න බැරි වුණොත් ඒක රිජෙක්ට් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. අනිත් එක මොනවා third party software use කරලා තියෙනවනේ ඒක මෙන්ෂන් කරන්න. So இந்த இதுகள் தான் காமனா வர பிழைகள். அது நான் இன்னைக்கு உங்களுக்கு விளங்கி இருக்குன்னு சொல்லி. Okay. Second round இது என்ன mistakes or the mistakes happen in second round where no interaction with panel because you are interacting with the panels. ඔයගොල්ලෝ කතා කරනකොට හරියට ඒක interact කරන්න. Presentation slide, badly prepared slides and presentation not focused, taken too softly or too fast. ගොඩාක් හිමීට යන්නත් හොඳ නැහැ, කඩාගෙන යන්නත් හොඳ නැහැ. right? හරියට focus එකේ තියෙන්න ඕනේ. focus பண்ணி செய்யணும். එහෙම නැත්නම් දිග presentation එකක්. ඒකත් හරියට. must precise. කොහොම හරි message එක හරියට දෙන්න ඕනේ 1 slide 2 slide එක දෙන්න ඕනේ ඒක හොඳ presentation. Language problems, nothing to worry too much because if you can't speak present in English, you can present in Sinhala or Tamil. You can ask at the beginning. ඔයගොල්ලන්ට අහන්න පුළුවන්. English එකෙන් බැරි නම් Sinhala. right? ඔයගොල්ලෝ Tamil தான் ஏலன்ஸ்ல சிங்களம் இங்கிலீஷ் தெரியாதுன்னு சொன்னா no problem. உங்களுக்கு ரிக்வெஸ்ட் பண்ணலாம். நான் தமிழ்ல தான் பிரசன்ட் பண்ண போறேன். But remember, when you are selected for Epicta, you have to speak in English only. So therefore, please remember, recommended English, but you can still continue with your own mother language. Okay, and the demonstration issues and devices are not working properly, and lack of testing and time management. Right? ඔයගොල්ලෝ හරියට setup කරලා ඇති. but demonstration කරනකොට ඒක හරියට වැඩ කරන්නේ නැහැ. මොන හරි device එකක් ඒක ඒ වෙලාවට හරියට වැඩ කරන්නේ නැහැ. නේ සර් මේක වැඩ කරා. yes it's working. I can see in the video but it's not working here. ඒක හොඳට වැඩ කරා සර් ගෙදර තියෙද්දි මේ දැන් වැඩ කරන්නේ නැහැ. okay. You have to make sure test it and fix that. Right? Common software errors. I'll not take too much time because we will be doing another session elaborating this, but I just want to just highlight these things, right? Functionality errors, communication errors, missing command errors, and systematic errors. Right? Error handling and calculation errors and control flow errors. Actually, use some bad logic instead of addition, subtraction, multiplication. Addition. So then, when there's some such errors, it's wrong. Right? Then you won't be able to. You might easily lose the chance of winning it by small mistakes. So the number of students recognized in the final award will including national winners and the merit winners. So national winners are like the people who is being nominated for the Epicta. So Epicta is Asia Pacific ICT Alliance representing Sri Lanka. I have already explained you last year. 3 winners also got it, right? Yeah, support already mentioned. It's time for question. All right. Any questions? Anything that you like to ask? It's time for question. Let me pick up certain questions. The award ceremony for the last year, yes. Last year, I have to highlight one thing that last year was not a national level competition. The reason due to pandemic that Ministry of Government has issued a circular to suspend all national level events. Another reason is there are physical events. Some students are good at with athletics and some other extra activities, and some this is IT is one part of talents. So since it is a national event where they will get the recognition and also when they enter the university, this certificate carry a weightage as well. You will get some additional marks for the university entrance. So they felt it's going to be unfair because only IT students will have advantage to get into the university because they have won a national level, whereas others, not because they couldn't win it, but there was no such events happened that year. So therefore, we cannot hold that as a award ceremony through Ministry of Education, but we will be issuing the certificate. You will be called to collect the certificate. So certificates are ready now, as it is. So you will be receiving a call to come and collect it, or we will arrange a small function or small setup in the FITIS itself for you all to come and collect it. There is a question about whether internship is possible. Yes, of course. We are willing to provide the internship. As I mentioned, one of the winner who is already sponsored by one of our member organization, and yeah, they will be able to help. There are many organizations who can actually either give you mentoring support or to support you to enhance your product and capabilities, or they can give you the internship and make use of your knowledge and improve your knowledge and support. All ways are possible. There's another question: will get any certificate for our participation? No, not for the participation. But if you have been selected for the second round, that means you have a quality product. You have some idea. You have reached the point where you have a product, you have an idea, solid idea, you can improve it. So once those people who have been selected for the second round will be awarded with the certificate, participation certificate, and there are merit certificate. There are only limited people, as you see, there are 39, and then there is a winner, national winners, and the award winners. So you would like to ask the create, okay, and we'll get the clarification when it comes. So maximum size of upload, of course, it's default given at 100 MB, but last time there were 500 MB also we have. So you have to make a request. Then again, please use email communication. When you use email communication, it works fine, right? How can you register for the YCS competition? Try searching register page, can't find. So go to YCS.lk. But they also now I mentioned that yes, they found the link. Yes, thank you. Notify, do you notify upload via email? Yes, we will notify via email. Last time also we have notified via email. We have sent the SMS communication as well as yeah, email and SMS only. You don't call and all that. Don't expect that to happen. Deadline, I clearly mentioned deadline 30th July for the application submission and 30th August for the project upload. You have another 1 month plus for this to work on it. Please keep that ready. So what do you mean by scan and send it? So if you remember, I mentioned about your application. Once you submit your application, you will receive an email with the copy of your application, the filled copy of your application. That application you have to take a printout and get a signature. There is a place for you to get a signature from the principal. Scan, get a signature, and then scan it and upload it to the link that will be sharing to upload your project files. That's what we mean. And you have submitted we have submitted our new ideas when we register, but what can we change now? If we can change registering, but if we want, can we change it now? Yes, you can, because then you have to inform us with your details and all that. So then we should be able to remove the previous application, because you as a candidate that you have option to submit, but please remember you can submit only one application. That also I have to make it clear. Individual project, one application, group project, one application, but a person part of group project also can apply as individual project, also individual also, that also possible. You can, but you have to inform or write an email stating with all your details, so that we will discard the previous application, because otherwise what will happen is your one folder will be created. Then when it comes to valuation, that will become a problem also. So inform us in advance before the deadline, and you can submit another form, so that you should be able to get it done. So what type of web apps that you expect? So, I mean, any type of web apps, there is no such thing that we will ask you to do this or do that, but it is up to you. But there has to be something unique. What is your work? What is your contribution? That part we will look at. If it is something which is already available on the web or anywhere which is already been done, then no point you do that, you will be disqualified. You will not be taken beyond second round. Even first round itself you will be rejected. So we will check that as well. Right. So we have submit our ideas when we're registering, but we can't change it now. So I already mentioned that you can reach out to us to get that. All right. There are a few more questions also coming up, and we have submitted our idea when the registered. The same similar questions are coming up. Okay, submit ideas, same thing. File size, I have answered already. Okay, there's no more questions that we can wind up the session. Thank you very much, everyone, for your support and being patient. And we will upload the YouTube link soon after this event is over, within a couple of days time, so that whoever who couldn't take part, they should be able to do that. In the meantime, unfortunately, the Ministry of Education person, yes, we have Ms. Vasana from, there is a recording from Ms. Vasana. She's the Director of Education from Ministry of Education. I will pass the podium for her to speak few words. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm glad to talk to you on National ICT Championship competition. We are organizing this for the 14th consecutive time. You know that we are combining 3 competitions together. One is Young Computer Scientist competition coordinated by FITIS, and National School Software competition organized by Computer Society of Sri Lanka, and Innovative Teachers competition organized by Ministry of Education. So Ministry of Education act as a partner and patron of this all 3 events. You know that we have started registration, and you can register until 31st of this month, and you have time to submit your project till 31st of August this year. So the intention of this session is give you an idea how you submit your project and how to make an effective project. So I hope you will get the benefit of this session well and come up with very effective projects. I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Yeah, that is Ms. Vasana Surya from Ministry of Education. She's the Director of Ministry of Education ICT branch. She couldn't join online due to the power failure and also due to the current fuel crisis where she couldn't even come to office and attend the meeting. So anyway, we thank everyone for your time and also participants for your time and valued contribution. We look forward your application and we wish you all the best for your career in the future. Thank you very much.